Okay, guys. um, I'm gonna take this link and send it to your parents. I feel like it's too trippy to watch ourselves. Let's not do it, please. Um, but let's take lunch. We'll come back here at 2:30. At 2:30, hopefully some people's parents can hop on. And I'll talk a little bit about. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. I feel like it's.
It just played on YouTube. Like what?
I know, that is so weird. I had it. Wait, it's pretty lagged.
Yeah.
Let me let the camp director know and see what he thinks.
Wait, can't you make it like a webinar or something? And then where like the participants, but the people who joined can't like unmute or turn their camera on.
I can ask.
Okay.
Okay, I think they wanted to do it this way for some reason, maybe so they can post it somewhere. But yeah, this is the way we'll do it. Apparently the lag is really normal. Yes, lunch. Hi guys. Please turn your video on. Okay. So I wanted to start before we do the showcase debates by saying a little bit about our lab. Part of this is for the parents, but also a lot of this was for you guys and to just express like that it was so great to be your teacher these couple weeks. And I really enjoyed working with each and every one of you. So I want to say a little bit about everybody. I'm going to share my screen with Zoom screenshots of what your face looks like. Hold on. Our little award ceremony. This is our class as of this morning. And I'm just gonna go through and say a little bit about everybody and like where I've seen you guys improve and like what it's been like to have you in lab. And just I hope you all continue with debate because you're all so excellent at it. And I can't believe none of you did public forum debate before this. That's crazy. I think each and every one of you could 100% become like a top debater in public forum debate. Also, it's kind of crazy that you guys are like 13. Like, what? It's really whack. Okay. So first up is Prem. This is Prem today. Prem, it's been such a pleasure to have you in our lab. Prem is extremely funny, kind, smart, and I think he's worked really, really well with Emma this week. So it's been really awesome to see you grow as a second speaker. Last week, I was like not sure if anything I was saying was going into your guys' heads, or I was like, it was kind of weird teaching over Zoom. So I was like, is anyone even listening? And sometimes Prem would like be laughing, and I was like, does he get it? And then this week he just like brought the fire with the rebuttals. I was like, wow, he has been paying attention this entire time. He knows exactly what he's talking about. I'd be terrified to debate Prem if I was the same age as him. So thank you so much for being in our lab. And I really hope that you continue with debate in your first year of high school next year. Okay, next up, we've got Prem's partner, Emma. Emma, you are such an incredible speaker. Like, I think anybody who's heard you read your first case or just give any speech, you speak in such a distinctive way with such like passion and persuasion. And in every crossfire I've seen you in, you've been so calm and confident. Like whenever you don't know something, you're like, my partner will answer that. Or you just have such great responses to everything. I think it's been great to see you grow this week in terms of your summary speeches improving and just like working on your crossfires overall. I also think that you've been like a huge part of our lab morale. Like you are our game master. And I don't think we would have gotten through the long day that was yesterday without you like eating your popsicle and like making us all laugh. Okay, next we've got the moment when Joe finally showed his face to the camera. I've captured it. Joe, I think you blew us all away on the first day of camp. I remember we did that first little like speak about an animal very persuasively. And then we all had to vote on like who was the winner, and everyone every time was like Joe, 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 because you just speak with such persuasion and such confidence, like you could be a politician or something. You've been the winner of so many of our like little mini tournaments because of that. Like I remember you did so well at the tournament where we had to not say the word okay, I just said I think that you are such a great speaker. You're such a great researcher. I remember scrolling up to your blog and being like, wow, he knows what he's doing. And it's been really great this week to see you kind of blossom in the debates and improve on your summary speeches every time you debate. I've seen so much improvement from like the first practice debate to the summary speech you gave this morning. And I think that you also just have such a positive and like amazing attitude towards debate. And I really, really hope that you keep up with it because I think you have a talent for it. All right, next we've got Sophie. I caught her mid-speaking. Sophie has like wowed us all this week. I feel like we can all agree on that. Sophie's rebuttals are simply legendary. She's like right on target every single time, like bam, bam, bam. She's got all this research and she knows it so well. Sophie is terrifying to go against in Crossfire in the absolute best way. I remember when I was doing debate in like middle and high school, it was like really hard as like a woman in debate to try to figure out like, I used to have a problem with like trying to be assertive enough because I was used to like being quiet. And Sophie is somebody that I would have looked up to because of how assertive and confident she is. And she's also an amazing researcher and an amazing hyper-upper. So Sophie, my life's mission will be over if you do not continue with debate next year. All right. Next up, we've got Krish grinning for the camera. Krish, it has also been such a pleasure to have you in lab. You are such an excellent speaker. I think the role of second speaker, like switching with Aryan, has allowed you to grow so much. I remember working with you last week on your new contention about like space colonization, and you were like so into it. Like you just have this like really natural curiosity to learn about things, and then you explain them so well. You're also great in Crossfire, and I think that you and Aryan have worked together really well as partners these 2 weeks. Like I'm constantly getting DMs from both of you on Zoom saying like, how can I work on this? Like me and Aryan are working on this. And it's been really cool to watch you guys grow as a partnership. All right, finally, we have our master of the chat function, Aryan himself. Aryan, this is, okay, I really like this picture of you. I'm gonna miss seeing your face on Zoom every day. You're just like keeping it real all the time. Like you are hyping everybody up in the chat. It makes me so happy to see you like get into debate and also see you grow every time. I think that you are also one of those people that kind of blew me away from the very beginning. I remember when Rhea came to do the subbing that one day I was out, she was like, Aryan is really good. And I was like, yeah, I know, he's really good. And I think that you have like blossomed these last couple of weeks in terms of like getting less nervous to read without your evidence right in front of you and getting more comfortable just like speaking on the fly. You're also a master of the Crossfire. Like you are Grand Crossfire every time Aryan is at it. And that's super cool to watch. Okay, so I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for being so engaged these past 2 weeks and keeping our lab great. All right, I'm not sure if any parents are watching, but this is my push for you guys to continue with Capital. Capital has a club debate league that meets every quarter of the year for 8 weeks per quarter. Once a week team meetings, and you'll get the chance to work like individually with a coach or with a couple of other students and continue doing kind of like the same stuff that we've been doing so far this summer, but like during the year. I also think that you will be able to like continue partnering with people from other schools, which is always super fun. And it would be great if like you guys were all in like the league together and got to like see each other again. Although apparently 2 people live in Maryland, right? Who lives in Maryland? Joe. And who else? I live in Maryland. Yeah, so I think that would be awesome. If you have any questions about that, I know Mr. Bratt could tell you like more about that, but I was like worked with Capital for like all of middle and high school pretty much. And I think it's like an incredible institution. And I've like, honestly, like I don't think I would be the person I am today if I hadn't done Capital Debate for so long. Like I met so many friends through it. My speaking skills got so much better. Yeah, so that's been amazing. There's also virtual classes and private coaching, and you can finally sign up for our camp next summer, which will hopefully not be online. Hopefully it'll be in person. Like Aryan was saying, like he wanted to do this last summer. The residential camp is so fun. Getting to debate in person, like getting to like room with your partner, you can really get into the topics in a whole new way. Yeah. All right. Now we have our debates. Do we know if any of our parents are here or no? Is it just us? Okay, it says that 5 people are watching. Is anyone else watching besides me? Okay. So it seems like we might be 4 of the 5. Who knows who the last one is? Either way, let's do our showcase debate. So give it all you've got. We're gonna start off with Krish and Aryan on the pro and Emma and Prem on the con. And I'll give you guys like 5 minutes and then we'll start. I'm just grabbing my notebook. I'll be right back. Okay. Are our teams ready? And Sophie and Joe, just keep flowing for practice. And in case there's like any discussion after, it'll be easier to reference arguments. All right, so Krish, Aryan, Emma, and Prem. The rest of us will turn our videos off. You guys can take it away.
Okay. Give me a second to set up my time. Okay. And I'll start my time. Wait. I'll start my time now. Do you remember when you were a kid and dreamed of exploring the world of space? Though seeming utterly unrealistic now, space exploration is a very real thing that has done great wonders for humankind. My partner and I affirm the resolution that space exploration does more good than harm because 1, it creates a great economic sphere, 2, it can help with climate change, and 3, it assists and betters our understandings of our theories. My first contention is that space exploration leads to huge economic growth. NASA reports that through all NASA activities, the agency generated more than $64.3 billion in total economic output during 2019. They also supported more than 312,000 jobs nationwide and generated an estimated 7 billion in federal, state, and local taxes throughout the US. Adding on to that, Voice of America News states that the Moon to Mars mission alone generated $14 billion in economic output, brought 1.5 billion in tax revenue, and generated and supported more than 69,000 jobs. And the report said that the program is expected to double those figures in 2021. This year, NASA's budget is $24.8 billion, and the chart explains how the Moon to Mars mission alone will be adding $31 billion to the economy, as well as 70,000 new jobs in the space exploration department. With this, our investments and stocks are supported, and more families have jobs that added to the economy, which raises the overall economic sphere. This is crucial, especially now. Amidst the COVID pandemic and people getting laid off their jobs, economic growth is more important than ever. Our second contention is that space exploration will help us with Earth problems. Foreign policy says that it was NASA satellite data that revealed a frightening and growing hole in the ozone layer above the South Pole, galvanizing public concern that, in 1987, produced the Montreal Protocol, the first ever international agreement addressing a global environmental problem. And according to Dylan Taylor, the founder of Space for Humanity, Earth observation satellites monitor greenhouse gases, while also allowing us to analyze Earth's ecosystem health more effectively. And technologies adapted from space use, like GPS and semiconductor solar cells, have dramatically reduced greenhouse gas emissions. And if not for NASA's satellite data, we wouldn't have recognized the gap besides, well, the hard way. And since then, we've been creating the solutions to those problems. With further experimentation, the aching burden of climate change could be solved permanently. And our third and last contention is that space exploration expands our scientific knowledge. As reported in Thales, space exploration allows us to prove and disprove scientific theories developed on Earth. Studying the solar system has brought such insights into phenomena like gravity, the magnetosphere, the atmosphere, fluid dynamics, and the geological evolution of other planets. And as stated by NASA, the intangible desire to explore and challenge the boundaries of what we know and where we have been has provided benefits to our society for centuries. These help address fundamental questions about our place in the universe and the history of the solar system. Space exploration gives us a different perspective on the theories we have and allows us to expand our human knowledge on these topics and others. And figuring out our place in the universe and what's beyond the stars is a challenge, but it's one that we're beginning to overcome, perhaps with space exploration. In conclusion, the resolution that space exploration does more good than harm is true because one, it creates a great economic environment, two, can help us with climate change, and three, it lets us have a better understanding of the theories we made and who we are. So Judge, for these reasons, we urge you to vote a pro ballot. And for the kids who dreamed about exploring the cosmos humanity beyond, dream on. Thank you.
May I use 30 seconds of prep time?
Oh my God, she's gonna be unstoppable now. Yes, you can. Starting now. Okay, that's 30.
Okay. All right. And wait a second. My time will start. Wait. My time will start now. Elon Musk once said, "We're running the most dangerous experiment in the history right now, which is to see how much carbon dioxide the atmosphere can handle before there's an environmental catastrophe." Space exploration is really harmful for the environment, which is why my partner and I negate the resolution that space exploration does more good than harm. Contention 1. It is dangerous for people to travel to space. Space exploration can have a lot of long-term harms for people traveling to space, both physically and mentally. There are a lot of physical risks with space travel remaining in space. According to NASA, radiation is the most menacing hazard in space travel. Above Earth's natural protection, radiation exposure increases cancer risk, damages the central nervous system, can alter cognitive function, reduce motor function, and prompt behavioral changes. In addition to radiation, some part of the launch or reentry could go wrong and kill or injure the people on the spacecraft. According to New Scientist magazine, a total of 18 people have lost their lives either while in space or in preparation for a space mission in 4 separate incidents. There are also mental risks when in space. While they travel to space, astronauts are stressed for a variety of reasons. On their journey to space, they cannot make any mistakes. When they are on long-term missions, they feel pressure to perform highly, and they are forced to be isolated from their friends and family. This mental trauma can cause PTSD and ruin the rest of the astronauts' lives when they are back on Earth. Going to space is dangerous, and it can either kill astronauts or it could ruin their life. It is not worth it to explore the dangers of outer space if people are going to die from it. Contention 2. Space travel harms the environment. When going to space, we leave a huge impact on the environment. Firstly, it creates space junk, such as non-operational satellites and other things, including jettisoned, spent rocket stages, old satellites, and other space objects, are creating a huge stock of garbage in outer space. It's not just a problem that we are creating a mess in space. Space junk is extremely dangerous. Take an incident reported in 2016 by European Space Agency astronaut Tim Peake, who snapped a photo of a pea-sized dent in the glass window of the ISS, left by a crumb of garbage no more than a few thousandths of a millimeter across, about the width of a floss. If that small of an object can create a dent in a space shuttle, you can't deny that it would be one heck of a ride flying through approximately 128 million pieces of moderately sized debris. And that's just counting the debris that scientists have been able to detect. Scientists also found that space junk can travel from speeds up to 15 kilometers per second. That's 10 times the speed of a bullet. Contention 3. Space exploration distracts us from and worsens the problem of global warming. Space exploration could be actually distracting us from the more important problems at home on Earth. Global climate change has already had noticeable effects on the planet. Starting with glaciers shrinking, ice on rivers and lakes are breaking up earlier, shifted plant and animal ranges, and trees flowering sooner. Now our already predicted effects are here too: loss of sea ice, accelerated sea level rise, and longer, more intense heat waves. Sooner or later, our worst nightmares will become true because of climate change. And if we don't handle it, and it will definitely it will de- it will if we don't if it definitely will not get better if we are adding to the problem with our carbon emissions from space exploration. Take NASA's SpaceX project. The rocket held 440 tons of jet fuel, which has high carbon content, meaning it releases a lot of carbon dioxide into the air when burned. Although my opponents may argue that this is not much compared to our annual emissions, if SpaceX meets its target launch of a rocket every 2 weeks, then the company will be releasing roughly 4,000 tons of carbon into the atmosphere each year. For these 3 reasons, my partner and I urge you to cast the con ballot.
Judge, can we get like 15 seconds of prep time?
Yep, starting now. Okay, that's 15.
Okay. I'm ready. Opponent, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So how is your evidence on glaciers melting due to the fact that we're having space exploration and not like other human activity? Is space exploration really the leading factor to climate change?
That's not what I meant. I meant that like we are already seeing like noticeable effects on the planet just from global climate change, like in general.
Right. Okay. So how does that correlate with space exploration? Because it distracts us.
Well, as I already stated, um, NASA um, NASA rockets will release a lot of carbon dioxide into the air when burned. So this contributes to, we are adding to the problem of global
Okay,
warming.
so 4,000 tons may seem like a lot, but it really isn't. But you can ask your question.
Okay. Um, are you aware that NASA is um are you aware that NASA is also has a huge budget when coming to exploring Mars?
Yeah.
Um, well, yeah, you can ask your question.
All right. Okay. So you said that a piece of space junk in your second contention had like a pea-sized dent in a reinforced window. Has there been any cases where a crew manned like ship was damaged because of space junk?
Well, it can very likely happen in the future because space junk will only continue growing. And if there is even more space junk out there, then it can harm the people in the spacecraft even more.
All right, but there hasn't been a reported case where that has happened yet. And even though, as you said, that there's so much space junk already, nothing's happened. So is this really a concern we should be worrying about right now?
Yes, because s- there will continue to, space junk will continue to grow from here, and there will be even more. So it's eventually gonna hit a spacecraft.
You can ask your question.
Okay. Do you believe we should go to space just to have more jobs? If it's
Uh,
dangerous.
well, I mean, yeah, but that's not the only reason. Space exploration, as I said in my three contentions, has so much more benefit than that. It can help us with climate change, as you've been saying, and it can assist in better understanding of theories. And those are only a couple benefits. There's so many other things that space exploration has to offer. So it's not so though jobs might be a great thing, and they are, and we're getting that from space exploration. There's so much other stuff. It's not just that.
Um,
Okay, can I ask my question then?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you talk about in your third contention about how we wouldn't handle climate change. So what does that mean? How if I talked about how we can go to space to help with climate change, would you wouldn't you agree that space exploration is actually helping? Because there are solutions that space exploration is proposing. So
What other examples do you have?
no other examples of helping the climate change thing? I could
Our
read more evidence.
timing, we realize that none of us are timing.
Okay.
I feel like it's been plus 3 minutes. Okay, it's fine. Good job, guys. Okay, who's next? Who wants to take prep?
Can how much time do we have left?
You're pro. You guys have let's keep with the 3 minutes of prep. So you guys now have 2:45 left.
Okay, could we have like a minute?
Yep, starting now. Oh wait, I'm so sorry. You don't have 2:45 left. You have 2:15 left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll still do a minute.
Okay. Beginning now. Okay, that is 1 minute.
Okay, I'm ready. Let me get a timer. My time starts now. Judge, I will come forward to attack all my opponent's points, and if time permits, I will continue to reinforce my own. Starting from their first contention on how there are physical and mental effects from space exploration. Although there are physical and mental health existing in space, that does not explain how it will do more harm than good. Everything will have its harms, and everything will also come with how its important effects from it. Furthermore, from the evidence that they have given on this, there has been only 18 deaths from only 4 cases ever. Furthermore, my opponents explain how it is possible for astronauts to get PTSD. However, they provide no evidence of anyone getting PTSD, and they do not even propose a number of how many people, if any, have even gotten it due to space exploration. Moving on to the second point on environmental harms caused from space exploration. They've stated that there's a very important problem from space junk that is caused from the destruction of satellites. However, there's already an existing solution to this problem, such as Clean Space One and the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency. They propose ideas like pushing the debris out of low Earth orbit, so there is no chance that it will re-enter Earth and through the Earth's atmosphere. And they also propose the idea like using electricity to slow down the debris, which means that they will not have an existing effect on anything. They have stated that in 2016, a space debris was enough to dent a reinforced window. However, they also state that that was only from one debris, and if there is multiple, then there will be a very big catastrophe. However, they have no evidence on this, and just because it can dent a window, that does not show that it has a major impact. And it also shows that it's not really probable, because that's the biggest impact that they actually have. They also state that even if it hasn't hit now, in cross-examination, my partner asked them if a major catastrophe has actually happened. Well, they said that it eventually will hit. However, there's no way that you can predict the future, and causing from the likeliness, this is possible that it will never actually happen. Moving on to the third point about how it worsens global warming. Their only evidence to support this point is to explain how glaciers are melting, animals are dying. However, they do not propose the idea or any explanation how space exploration is a major cause for this. However, so there are multiple other factors that affect global warming. And just because of space exploration, this does not mean that, as they say, it distracts people from global warming. There are multiple car companies that are moving to use electric fuel, and also multiple companies that are trying to make green energy. Space exploration does not distract them from doing any. Now, to move on to my case, space exploration actually, uh, to move on to my case, space exploration actually leads to huge economic growth, which will make them have the possibility to use these alternatives like Clean Space One and the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency. And they will be able to eliminate the problem of space debris, like my opponents say. And therefore, in a pro world, people will be able to explore space, gain money to the economy, and will also be able to find scientific explorations in Earth. Thank you.
Yeah. Can you run like 30 seconds of prep?
Sure, you have 2:30 remaining. 30 seconds starting now. Okay, that's 30. Do you want any more?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
Okay, I'll start my clock. Okay, 4 minutes starting now. Judge, I'll first refute all first I will argue against their points, and if the time permits, I'll reinforce our own. My opponent's first argument say that space exploration leads to economic growth, and go on to talk about how it leads to more jobs. This doesn't really mean anything. We don't need to go all the way to space just for jobs. If we wanted jobs, we could spend the money here on Earth just to get more jobs. They don't give any other reason to go to space other than to get more jobs and get money. Secondly, they say that it helps with Earth problems, and they give an example of how ozone was detected. But really, the ozone was actually detected at our Antarctic poles, and it was nothing to do with the satellites. All the satellites did was prove that, yeah, they were correct. We do not need these satellites in space, really, if we can just use our posts in Antarctica to prove these things. So really, and next, how will it help with Earth's problems if it's really making it worse? Like my partner Emma stated in our opening case, she gave the example of SpaceX. SpaceX is gonna launch every 2 weeks. Do you know how much that can impact the Earth? And they do not give any example of how space exploration can help with Earth's problems. All they say is that it does, and it will apparently solve it permanently. How? By giving off more emissions? And on the third point, they say that it can disprove or prove any of their theories. They didn't give any example of any theory that we've proved from going to space. We can prove anything that we want by staying on Earth. We do not need to go to space and risk our lives and the health of our astronauts. Now let's move on to my own case. They attacked our first argument, saying that there will there's only 18 deaths from people going to space. Actually, there was 30 deaths from space exploration, from testing, and other reasons. 30 out of the 500. If we're just going there for jobs and apparently and adding more carbon dioxide to the air, what is the point of these debts? These are debts for no purpose. Now let's move on to their second argument. They argue they can push the debris out of to low Earth orbit. Well, this proves our point. We shouldn't have to. It's because that space exploration harms the environment so much that we have to spend more time, effort, and money to clean this up. And really, this could just make the problem worse. Adding more satellites into space could add more space junk and just make the problem worse. And they say that they have these solutions in place, and they're not even in effect. We still have the problem of space debris. Who cares if there's solutions? There's nothing going on, and their solutions could lead to harm. They say that they can burn it up in the atmosphere. That could cause like raining bullets. It's 10 times the speed of a bullet crashing down and maybe ending up losing even more lives. And it distracts us from global warming. It adds to the problem. And they say that there are only evidence is glaciers melting. Well, really, we already provided them with SpaceX launching every 2 weeks. Because of all these reasons, we urge you to vote a con ballot. Thank you.
Does either side want Pratt?
Yeah, how much time do we have right now?
Pro has 1:15, Con has 2 minutes.
Oh. Can you just run like 30 seconds?
Wait, so sorry, that was Con that was asking that? Or Pro?
Pro.
Okay, yes, 30 seconds starting now. Okay, 30 seconds used. You have 45 remaining.
Okay.
Oh, you guys get first question. Wait, should I time? I'll start it whenever you start.
Okay. I'll start my time now. So in your third contention, you state how you do provide evidence on how space exploration is actually causing CO2 emissions. Do you is space exploration a major source of the CO2 emissions?
Of course. You guys are
Do you have any evidence proving that it uses more CO2 emissions than, let's say, factories, planes, cars, and like that? Do you have any evidence?
You're adding to it. You don't need evidence for this. You're adding carbon dioxide into the air. And the only reasons you provide is for jobs.
Okay, so
and apparently
even if it's adding to the to CO2 emissions, what is it a major source of what worsens global
it might not be okay, here's the answer to your question. It might not be bigger than the factories or the cars, but it's not helping at all. It's adding to the problem, and it contradicts.
You can ask your question.
Okay, I wanted to ask you about your solutions. You say that there's already solutions, then how come we're still
Solutions to
still have
what?
this, space junk? How come we're still having the problem?
Of space junk? Even if we're still having um, these are still acts that are not yet in place. And if we put them in place, we'll be able to easily solve this problem. This is not a problem. We already have a solution to this.
How could this not be a problem?
We can already have the money from it. The money is not a problem. So much money is generated by space exploration, and this is an easy solve to this problem.
Okay.
All right, prep time.
Yeah, so how much do we have left?
You have 45 seconds left.
Okay. Um, could we do like 30?
Yeah, good move. Starting now. Okay, that is 10.
All right. So, Judge, this entire debate now boils down into three main things. Our 2 points about economic growth and the scientific discoveries that space exploration allows us to make, and their 1 point about space junk. So, economic growth right now is so important because of the fact that SpaceX is always costly and saying that it's just a waste, as our opponents did. However, this is not true, especially as we talked about how these space exploration companies are generating like a ton of money to combat whatever they're saying. So we don't need to arch out on the fact that space exploration costs much. And even if it does, there's so many more benefits that reek out of it. So the benefits actually outweigh the cost this time. And then and when we were talking about how these and then how they were talking about how space junk could be implemented, it's not about how putting more satellites into space would cause this space junk. It's just that we have solutions that they say would create it, but that's not even true because they didn't provide any evidence of how this stuff could actually happen. And and when they talked about how we go to space only for our jobs, that's not true. I was saying that it provides many benefits for our society, like money and income. And that's just one of the benefits. Okay, so moving on to our point about climate change, we have to start addressing this because it will start taxing our planet's health in less than a decade. And my opponents never directly responded to this. Instead of saying that their rockets would add more emissions, but in reality, these rockets add nothing compared to whatever our like current industries do and other forms of things like greenhouse gases. Rocket emissions are like not a thing to be worrying about, and we already have alternative fuels, as my partner Krish was saying. So climate change is a problem, and it will not be condoned by space exploration. Instead, maybe being helped by space exploration. And lastly, it's their point on space junk. So we already talked about how space junk could be solved by space exploration with these solutions like the Japanese Air Force and these other companies and so many other proposals to get them out. They just don't have the funding right now required to get these things out. And maybe if we had more awareness, we'd be able to do that. So in a con world, we'd be able to see that the planet will be sweltering from things like climate change and hiding behind these walls to not do anything about it instead of and saying that we can do it on Earth, but in reality, we can't. We have to use space exploration to help us with this. And their point about and when they say that, and I know they're going to come up here and talk about how space exploration can lead to a lot of environmental harm, but that's just simply not true. We talked about how that isn't. And we got to know that they're currently living in a world that's obsessed with trying to reach out the idea of how space exploration harms a lot of things and costs so much. But as I've said in this summary, that it's simply not true. So, Judge, for these reasons, we urge you to vote for pro. Thank you.
Can I have how much prep time do I have left?
You guys have 2 minutes.
Okay, can we use 1 minute?
Yep, starting now. Okay, that is a minute.
Okay, wait a second. All right. And it's okay. And my time will start now. At the end of the day, Judge, this debate boils down to 3 arguments. 1, space exploration harms the environment. 2, there are many dangers in space. And 3, the economic growth from space exploration is just not worth it. So, Judge, as me and my partner have said before, rockets from NASA produce so much carbon dioxide. They produce roughly 4,000 tons of carbon into the atmosphere each year. And also, rocket companies will come to market as is expected. Then space travel could rapidly account for a major source of greenhouse gas emissions. And also, there is proof that space junk will continue being more of a problem because of the Kessler syndrome. As the density of space rubbish increases, a cascading and self-sustaining runaway cycle of debris-generating collisions can arise that might ultimately make low Earth orbit too hazardous to support most space activities. And my opponents have said that climate change is a problem, but they said that space exploration can solve it. But the only thing that they said was that climate change is that the Antarctic ozone hole was just repaired from that. And that wasn't even a valid argument because the thing that spotted the Antarctic ozone hole was actually Antarctic posts. And also, there are many dangers in space. It's not worth it to travel if we are risking the lives of our astronauts. 30 people have already died in space, and it'll become more and more dangerous when there's more space junks out there. And our opponents said they will start addressing it. Well, when then? And the last thing is that my opponent said that space exploration can provide a lot of jobs for people, but we can do that on Earth. And they keep saying there are other benefits also, but they never even stated any other benefits except providing jobs. And we can do that on Earth. So, because of all these reasons, Judge, I urge a con ballot.
Okay, are you ready for grand crossfire, or do you need prep?
I think, Prima, are we ready? I think we can use like 15 seconds.
Wait, did you actually? Yeah, we can just use it.
All right.
Okay, Con has a minute left, running 15 seconds now. All right, that is time.
Okay, we're ready.
Well, so are we. Okay, so I'll start our time now. So you keep on saying how we won't, I think you talked about in your summary, like we should just leave. So you said that the Kessler syndrome would continue and we would have more space junk. So are you proposing that we just leave space alone entirely?
No, we're saying that if it causes more harm than good because of space exploration.
Okay, so
such a mess in
you're
space.
saying that we should just leave space exploration alone, like we should stop, right?
No, that's not what we're arguing about.
We're arguing that, yeah, exactly.
We're arguing that space exploration does more harm than good. So that's what we're arguing.
Right,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay,
so
Okay, well, how does that propose a harm if we already have an existing
because
solution?
nothing is happening. There's
yeah,
still
nothing
there's
happening
still
because we don't
space
have
junk out there.
implementation.
There's still space junk out there,
But we,
and none
okay,
of
but
this,
we can't clean that space junk by just letting it sit there. You know, it's space exploration. We could be having
Yeah,
be finding a
space
faster
exploration
solution.
is the solution to it.
Yeah, so what do you propose that like what do you want us to do if like we're just gonna leave it there?
exactly. You guys don't even know what to do with the mess
No,
that
we
you're
have
We
solutions.
do.
We're
We
asking
already
you.
have existing solutions.
and nothing. And
What
you
my
haven't
partner is
even-
trying to say is,
They're obviously
without
not
space
working.
exploration,
Okay,
if we were
okay,
not
okay,
to
we
use
can
space
drop this
exploration,
argument
what
then.
other solution would we make?
Okay, we get to
Hey.
ask our
Yeah,
question.
you can go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. Preem can ask the question.
Okay, so we both wanted to know, since we already proved to you that the ozone depletion wasn't really because of space exploration, we wanted to know if you had any other evidence that helps with Earth problems.
Right. Okay. So as I've stated in my opening speech, that we've had like these, or we said that the source from Dylan Taylor, the founder for Space for Humanity, that Earth observation satellites are monitoring greenhouse gases, and with this implementation, by being able to use the GPS and semiconductor solar cells, greenhouse gas emissions have reduced dramatically. And you keep on talking about how you use your
Adding to-
toes.
Wait, how will you help if you're adding to the problem?
Because
You know
we can
that
monitor
you know
it
that
on a
like
ground
our
Are you
monitoring
helping or are
systems,
you just monitoring?
our monitoring systems are helping reduce
on a
total emissions. We've
ground
been
level,
telling
you
you.
will not be able to spot greenhouse gases.
Okay, but we already know that it's a problem. So how is monitoring gonna help? We already
Okay,
know.
so let me elaborate on
If
that.
we-
We said that because we get to monitor these things, we get to know how much there is and what the problem is and how severe it is. And then with this information, we're able to make technologies that help reduce these things. And as I said,
For
Like-
example, the ozone depletion in Antarctica I'm not sure how a human eye would be able to spot that. However, by satellite spotting
Just
that, we are
scientific
able to
posts.
implement rules.
Okay,
So
okay.
then,
Okay, this is
using
time.
our monitoring, we would be able to stop that.
Okay, can we just run the rest of prep time? Actually, wait, where even is my thing?
Wait, I got distracted by the chat. Yeah. Pro has 15 seconds left, starting now.
Thanks.
Okay, that's time.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay. My time starts now. Judge, this debate comes down to our two arguments about economic growth and being space exploration able to help on Earth, and their argument on space debris affecting the environment of our Earth. Starting off from our from helping problems on Earth. Their attack on this was that we were able to spot the ozone we're able to spot the ozone depletion in Antarctica. However, perhaps we could live without satellites to spot ozone layers. Perhaps we could live without satellites uh, and we could find greenhouse gases on our own on the ground. But why should we take the chance? Satellites are able to find this information, and without us monitoring our problems, we won't be able to propose a solution to stop it. And on the ground level, we will not be able to find our problems, so we will not be able to stop it. Taking an example in Antarctica, where the satellite did actually spot the ozone depletion, we were able to implement rules so we could actually fix this. Moving on to my second main point, which is on how it can help on the ground. Moving on to my second point, which is how economic growth would be improved by space exploration. Economic growth is important to the economy to create jobs and and for people to have a better well-being. The only argument that was proposed to this was not even a real stop. All they said was that we don't require to go to space to create jobs. Although we can create jobs elsewhere, that does not prove that space exploration is not creating jobs. Space exploration is creating jobs. And in a pro world, we will be able to live safely, detect our problems, solve them, and create economic growth. And in a con world, we will have the problem of space debris, which we've already solved. So, Judge, does space exploration do harm, or do we already have a solution to that? Thank you.
Okay, can I run the rest of my prep time?
Yes, you have 45 seconds starting now. Okay, that's 10.
Okay, I'm ready. Is it 4 minutes? Okay. Oh, 2 minutes, my bad. Okay, so 2 minutes starting now. So, Judge, really, all this debate was this debate really boiled down to these three arguments: that it harms the environment, that it distracts and worsens global warming, and that space exploration that leading to economic growth is really not worth it. They say that space exploration can lead to economic growth. They want to leave the lives and healthcare of the astronauts just to create jobs. This is totally unreasonable. We can create jobs on Earth where it's much safer. And they never even proved any other point that we have to go to space. Their one piece of evidence that the ozone was depleted, we already proved. We didn't need to go to space for that. We already had it here on Earth. We already had it in our Antarctic post. And look at our arguments, like how it harms the environment. There's so much space junk right now in space, and my opponents keep arguing that there's already a solution. There's already a solution. Well, why is this problem still there? If there was really a solution that could help, something would be happening. But the solutions that they provide us really will just make it worse. Like my partner Emma told them about the Kessler syndrome. The problem will just become worse and worse as we keep sending satellites there to make it better. Do we in the pro world, we will have astronauts dying, global warming worsening, and in the con world, we would have more innovations. We will be able to save global warming, and we will just have more saved lives in general. Because of this, I urge you to vote a con ballot. Thank you.
Guys, virtual shake hands. Is someone here a lefty? What? Arian, are you a lefty?
Oh, I'm just happening to use my left hand.
I don't think anyone's even watching this stream.
You don't think so? Guys, tell your parents to get on.
Because I'm watching it, and is someone else watching it? It says that.
Yeah, I'm watching.
I'm watching it. Okay. No one's watching it.
Why is no one watching?
Maybe they just want to look at Sophie's debate with Emma and Pram and Joe. Wait, is there a winner? Are we doing them?
I'm not doing winners and losers.
Okay.
But
Woo, everyone won. We're all winners here.
everyone. One thing I will say is some reason final focuses got so much better, especially the summary speeches. Like I've been like harping on you guys about that a lot. But Emma, like I said, I think it was your best summary speech yet. You used like almost the full 3 minutes. It felt so good. And Aryan, you were also like amazing in your summary speech. So I'm really proud of you guys. And Christian Prim did pro world versus con world, both of them. And they went against each other in crossfire. And everyone survived. But yeah, much better debate than yesterday. Shall we take a break so Emma and Prim don't die? Can everyone please text their parents? Like at this point, I'm about to text my parents.
You can just look in the chat, and all there is just like my brother saying, "Frame, let's go, Chris, let's go." And that's the only person who watched.
Wait, your brother's watching?
He like watched the beginning.
Oh wait, you're right. I see it.
Oh, that's who that person is.
Does he do debate?
No.
So it's just you guys.
That grand crossfire was so intense.
It's kind of just like back and forth the entire time, but yeah.
We were like talking over each other.
Yeah, we'll do the next one at right? Con is just easy to argue. We'll see what Sophie and Joe pull up with.
We did like adjust one of our arguments. Like none of them are like completely like out of there. They're just like different than, I don't know, they're just different.
Yeah, guys, we can talk. It's like easier. You know?
We just revamped our thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know if it's actually a good case. There are 5 people watching. It's like 4 of them are us. It's like I don't think you need to be worried.
Wait, no, it says 4 people are watching now.
Oh my god. Yeah, they're all us. So let me see if I can like, can I Google this? Like capital debate.
We're watching now. Wait, who else is watching?
I think they're gonna like, oh.
Wait, raise your hand if you're watching it right now.
Oh, they're not streaming. Oh no.
Oh, so all the people who are watching is just all us.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
us.
No one cares.
I think the parents like came in like the first second and they're like, oh, debate.
I
They just
think
left.
I think none of our parents like check their emails.
Yeah, I don't think anyone, no, I just don't think they like they see us every day. I don't know if they need to like watch us. Okay, wait, Capital Debate has 150 subscribers.
Oh my god, Arian blew his nose on a song.
Dude, all of the subscribers on Capital Debate is probably like staff and children.
They do have like 970 Instagram followers. Let me see.
Ooh, I can follow them.
I think I already follow them. I don't know why. I don't know why. That's like not important to me. Oh wow, they have no engagement. Oh god.
Arian blew his nose on a sock.
I don't know how to feel about that.
I don't know. Like,
I was desperate, okay. I don't want to have to like struggle.
Was it a clean sock at least?
Yeah,
Like you couldn't find any, you couldn't like run to the
literally
bathroom.
nothing. No, because like we
wheelchair?
have this bathroom that me and my brother share. It like it conjoins with our rooms. So like you can lock it from the inside, right? And like you could like my brother could just go back into his room. usually he tends to forget to like unlock it. So I had no access to any like tissues.
Preem can give you a tissue. He has tissues.
Yeah, do it through the
Anyone.
screen.
Yeah.
Is it called
Thank
like
you.
teleportation? Like,
Like
no, like pull Zach King or whatever. Yeah, Zach King.
Back in.
Oh, yeah,
And his like
I feel like
his
his
fine
videos are
has
fake.
videos are so funny.
I feel like his videos are fake though.
They're
Yeah,
obviously
probably
fake.
not.
They're just like they're done in like real time. Most of them are done without editing or something. It's just camera angles. But like
Oh, I thought it was like editing.
there's like behind the scenes, like that's what he some of them are edited.
awkward silence.
Wait, why is Capital Debate following so many other people?
I think they just follow everyone who like wait, they're probably like
They're following you?
yeah, they're following me and all my friends. Oh my god.
Okay, after Capital Debate, that is not official. Don't do that.
Oh my god. Oh my god, you like increase their following by 1. Maybe they'll follow you. I
I
think
don't want
only
that.
reason why
No,
they
that's
followed
okay.
me is because like what's his name? Like the Ronald Brat guy, like he like has heard of me once. And that was it. Maybe he'll follow you back.
No, but that's like weird. I don't want no, don't do that. I mean, I have nothing to hide. It's just like why would like an organization follow a private like account? You know?
Yeah, but like they need clout, Like
Yeah, they need like people to follow them. So they're like, hey, if you follow us, we'll follow you. Like something like that.
But I feel like
know.
it just discourages like people to because like it's kind of weird like having like a random thing follow you. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it kind of defeats the purpose.
you're right, you should follow them. I don't know why it would benefit you in any way.
I should follow Capital Debate.
Yeah. Be their 974th follower. Yeah, there was Aryan. But it wasn't this one. It was another. It wasn't the organization itself.
Oh, wait, that's even worse.
No, it wasn't the organization itself. It was like one of
Oh,
the staff
okay.
people.
Wait, is everyone watching the live stream? Because there's like 7 watching now.
I'm not in the live stream page at the moment.
Oh, that means people are watching us talk about random stuff.
Yay! Let me just do that.
Oh wait, Meera, did you follow them?
I
Oh my
did.
god, they got 2 followers today.
Oh God.
Yeah, maybe they
Insane
can
growth.
celebrate their like 100, like 1,000 follower anniversary or something. Maybe like a free promotional discount on next camp club.
Oh wait, Meera, did you follow them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, they got 2 followers today.
Oh wait, no, that's
You know that photo of like Hannah Montana, like the reaction photo? It was like me staring at my judge during cross-ex. When your partner contradicts something you said, oh my god, they have debate memes.
Wait, Arian, what are you talking about?
Like the memes they have.
Oh,
If you
they
scroll
were.
down.
What are these? They're not even like debate memes. There's like three. When a non-debater thinks they can win an argument with you.
That's not even. What?
Wait, Capital Debate has merchandise? And they're doing giveaways too?
Oh my god, one of my friends actually tagged me in it. You can probably find it. I was like, why would you want this? Yeah, she literally, no, one of my friends, she literally tagged me in it. Oh my god. Capital B alumni hoodie?
Wait, I want to see. Is it like really bad?
No, it's just why would you
I
do they
know
sell they don't even sell it. They just made like a custom one, I guess, or like they had an extra.
for what? If they don't sell it, then what is it for?
Like the camps, like they'll give you like t-shirts.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I got a Lumos shirt from my Lumos debate.
I
team.
have the water bottle too.
Oh, you got the water bottle?
Yeah, I got both. I have like it's huge though. I was like, I want a small, and they gave me like a large. Like,
I just looked at
Did
the.
everyone here do Lumos? That was like, that was definitely something.
yeah, every Chinese person that I know has who lives here and has done Lumos at some point.
I just saw Sophie like in the live stream, like laughing like this.
Ha 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 ha.
I'm kind of ready to start. Like, can we just like?
Wait,
Yeah, let's start. I was waiting till 4, but let's do it.
wait, hold on. There's just one more thing.
Okay.
There's like me staring at my judge doing cross-X in like formal.
The Hannah
in
Montana,
form.
like the Hannah Montana. photo.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's reversed, but like it's so
That's kind of fun.
Okay, can we like start now?
Yeah, let's start.
All right. Oh, okay. Me and Preem are con again, right?
Yeah, you guys are going again.
And second too, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Sophie and Joe, are you guys ready?
I guess I'm just like clear off all the stuff on my desk. Yeah, so
wait, great. Okay.
what? Anyways. Might have to set up the time here. Timeline. Okay, good. Hmm? 4 minutes. And my time starts now. We affirm the resolution that space exploration does more good than harm. Space exploration makes great discoveries that save lives and improve the quality of life, and it can help us help the environment. Our first contention is that space exploration makes discoveries that are good for us and the planet. Satellites are great. They enable so many things like wireless internet, like the fact that we can use Zoom right now is because of satellites. Also, satellites make the GPS, which is also very good for the quality of life. Space exploration also inspires other inventions that save lives, like implantable heart monitors and cancer therapy. And these inventions have saved over 440,000 lives. And GPS especially is even good for the economy. According to a study, it's generated $1.4 trillion since its creation. And if there's a GPS outage, we lose $1 billion to $45 billion. So with and without GPS makes a $1 to $45 billion difference. And yeah, my second contention is that space exploration is good for the environment. The two satellites, ICESat and Landsat, both monitor resources for our planet. So if there's ever a big problem with them, like if a lot of glaciers are melting, for example, we can see it easily and stop the problem, whatever it is. And one example of this is that in 1987, scientists saw that there was a hole in the ozone layer above Antarctica. And so they banned the things that were causing the ozone to thin. And in 2018, there was a study that showed that the ban worked. So space exploration helped us solve a problem before it was too late. And it's very important because you can't solve a problem that you don't know. And climate change is very important to fix because it is estimated to kill 250,000 people a year from 2030 to 2050 if this trend continues. Also, satellites help us find hurricanes and asteroids. And according to a study, every satellite launch saves 5 million tons of CO2 on average by inspiring technologies that make things more efficient. Remember, space exploration's inventions have saved over 440,000 lives. It's helped us fix things before it was too late, and it's improved the quality of life. And we should do whatever we can to slow down climate change so the 250,000 deaths a year do not happen. This is why, Judge, I urge you to vote pro. Thank you.
May we use 30 seconds of prep time?
Yes, starting now. Okay, that's 30 seconds.
Okay. Wait a second. Wait. Okay. And my time will start now. Elon Musk once said, "We're running the most dangerous experiment in history right now, which is to see how much carbon dioxide the atmosphere can handle before there is an environmental catastrophe." Space exploration is really harmful for the environment, which is why my partner and I negate the resolution that space exploration does more good than harm. Contention 1. It is dangerous for people to travel to space. Space exploration can have a lot of long-term harms for people traveling to space, both physically and mentally. There are a lot of physical risks with space travel and remaining in space. According to NASA, radiation is the most menacing hazard in space travel. Above Earth's natural protection, radiation exposure increases cancer risk, damages in the central nervous system, can alter cognitive function, reduce motor function, and prompts behavioral changes. In addition to radiation, some part of the launch or reentry could go wrong and kill or injure the people on the spacecraft. According to New Scientist magazine, a total of 30 people have lost their lives while in space or preparation for a space mission in 4 separate incidents. There are also mental risks when in space. While they travel to space, astronauts are stressed for a variety of reasons. On their journey to space, they cannot make any mistakes. When they are on a long-term mission, they feel pressure to perform highly, and they are forced to be isolated from their friends and family. This mental trauma could lead to PTSD and ruin the rest of the astronaut's life when they return back to Earth. Going to space is dangerous, and it can either kill astronauts or it could ruin their life. It is not worth it to explore the dangers of outer space if people are going to die from it. Contention 2. Space travel harms the environment. When going to space, we leave a huge impact on the environment. Firstly, it creates space junk, such as non-operational satellites and other things, including jettisoned, spent race rocket stages, old satellites, and other space objects, are creating a huge stock of garbage in outer space. It's not just a problem that we are creating a mess in space. Space junk is extremely dangerous. Take an incident first reported in 2016 by European Space Agency astronaut Tim Peake, who snapped a photo of a pea-sized dent in the glass window of the International Space Station, left by a crumb of garbage, no more than a few thousandths of a millimeter across, about the width of a floss. If that small of an object can create a dent in a space shuttle, you can't deny that it would be one heck of a ride, flying through approximately 128 pieces of moderately sized debris. And that's just counting the debris that scientists have the ability to detect. Scientists also found that space junk can travel from speeds up to 15 kilometers per second. That's 10 times the speed of a bullet. Contention 3. Space exploration distracts us and worsens the problem of global warming. Space exploration could actually be distracting us from the more important problems at home on Earth. Global climate change has already had noticeable effects on the planet. Sooner or later, our worst nightmares because of climate change will come true if we don't handle it, and it definitely will not get better if we are adding to the problem with our carbon emissions from space exploration. Take NASA's SpaceX project. The rocket held 440 tons of jet fuel, which has a high carbon content, meaning it releases carbon dioxide into the air when burned. SpaceX meets its target of launching a rocket every 2 weeks, then the company will be releasing roughly 4,000 tons of carbon into the atmosphere each year. Additionally, if more rocket companies come to market as is expected, then space travel could rapidly account for a major source of greenhouse gas emissions. For these 3 reasons, my partner and I urge you to cast a con ballot.
Can we take 15 seconds?
Yes, starting now. Okay, that's 15.
So wait,
All right, are you ready?
no, I need to set up a timer.
Oh, okay.
Minutes. My time starts now. So would you say the 30 people that were killed in space exploration is worth the 440 lives saved? Would you say that it's not worth it?
Where did you say that 440 lives were saved?
It's a study by NASA.
Okay.
440 lives were saved by their invention.
There are no, because there are also other harms other than the 30 people that died out in space.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna ask my question. So you said that the space exploration will help the environment because it is like producing like less like carbon dioxide. Can you explain that more?
Yeah, so like every satellite that's launched, around 5 million tons of CO2 are like not released, because when releasing the satellites, you discover more efficient technologies. Like then you have
Where did you get this information? Like what source?
let me just check. So 5 million tons of satellite. I don't have it on my card. It's probably on the dock.
Okay. Okay. Joe, your turn.
My turn. So like what's the actual impact of space junk besides like taking a chip out of a window?
Well, space junk will, that's just, that piece of space junk was smaller than like a floss. Imagine what would happen if a huge piece of space junk hit a space shuttle.
So what's the chance of that happening?
Well, the chances of it happening will continue to increase because as space junk bumps into each other, it'll create more pieces of space junk. So
yeah, but like can you give me like a number, like high or low? Like is it increasing from a quadrillionth of a percent to like a trillionth of a percent, or like
no, I don't have a statistic.
okay. Oh yeah, it's your turn to ask a question.
Okay. So I don't really have another question.
Oh, okay, well, time's up. Okay, reset. All right, I have to get the source.
I can give you the source. Like
Okay. Can you give
Let's do what we did last time? So Sophie, if you can provide the source and no one preps while you try to find it.
yeah.
Joe, hands on your head.
I come in peace. I surrender.
The 5 million source?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Might as
the
well
link to the official website is here, and then the card that we took, Joe accidentally read it. So basically what the evidence says is that like the more efficient the more efficiently we use things like satellites, the you can just read it yourself, like the more we save.
Oh, down.
And then you can also read like this part, the next part that I forgot to insert. It's basically where the more efficiently we drive and like the more efficiently we plan and the GPS plans, the more fuel we'll save. So it says 15 to 25%.
Wait,
Do
but
you
these
need-
programs, are they in place right now?
Yeah.
It's like this says it's a system that's proposed. It doesn't say
Wait,
that.
this is the ESA, but like I can find the. Wait, wrong. Wait, do I like provide proof that we're using it right now? Like
Yes,
the
right now,
ESA.
It's right now you just need to show like explain. Joe said that the 5 million evidence said one thing. So are you saying that it's saying something different?
Yeah, Joe didn't read the card right.
Okay. So what is the card saying then?
It's just like it's just that like for if we have like a more efficient like route planning using GPS, like I guess he thought it was from a different section. That like with that, then we can just save on fuel, which means that we can save on like emissions. The ESA apparently has already implemented this.
Okay.
Okay.
Khan, do you have any questions about this or are you good?
So I just want to confirm. So this is basically saying that like using the GPS, you'll save fuel, right?
Yeah, because we have more it like the most of this part just says like it's more efficient because they'll like calculate like the braking and stuff. But then it's also
Yeah,
yeah,
we
basically
understand. We understand.
Okay, great. Now it's the pros.
Do you know like when it was implemented or like?
it's already been.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Pro, would you like prep before your rebuttal?
Can we have 20 seconds?
Wait, Emma, you're saying we can ignore the 5 million times thing? Sophie?
You want us to?
No, so are you saying that like this is like not valid? Like this information over here?
Why is it not valid?
No, I mean like what Joe said, like about like
Oh, about every satellite? Yeah, you can ignore that. He didn't read it right.
Okay, great. Glad that is cleared up. So Sophie, do you want prep for your rebuttal?
Can I take the 20 seconds?
Yes, starting now. Okay, that's 20.
So is everyone ready? Let me just set up a quick timer. So okay, so my time starts now. So let's look over my opponent's 3 main points. Their first point is that my opponent claims is that space exploration is harmful for astronauts. But National Geographic says that only 566 people have ever left the planet. And most of these people were not in space for an extended period of time. So the long-term harms that my opponents claim don't apply to the vast majority of these 556 people. She then goes on to say that a total of 30 people have lost their lives either while in space or in preparation for a space mission. First, the people who died in space, everyone who goes to space signs up with a risk of death. Everyone knows that. Every job has its own risks, and unfortunately, these astronauts had to suffer through them. But this isn't necessarily the only reason why we should stop space exploration. Secondly, we have to compare the huge number of people who will die without us using satellites to properly reduce emissions. The figure of 30, when we compare that to this number that we're giving you, that when we compare it to the 200,000 or 300,000 people who are going to die every single year in 2030 through climate change, this number is significantly lower and we significantly outweigh. She then states that astronauts can suffer from PTSD or other mental illnesses. And like I've said before, these people signed up for the job knowing this harm. And furthermore, we don't need to send astronauts up into space in order to explore space. So this claim is completely invalid. Now onto their second contention. They claim that space exploration harms the environment because of space junk. First, the more we explore space and the more we invest in space technology, the better our technology will get at avoiding collisions. For example, the International Space Station already has a special type of shielding that resists damage from small chunks of debris, and we're already developing technology that allows us to remove space junk from out of orbit. During cross-examination, when Joe asked my opponent that what the chance of a collision in space with a piece of space debris was, she admitted that she did not know the chance of a collision. But I can give you the number that NASA has reported. That chance is 1 in 10,000. She claims that one of the biggest impacts that she claims for space junk is that the ISS, the International Space Station, had a small chunk taken out of its window. But that's not really a valid reason why we should be not exploring space just because a small piece of window happened to break off. Lastly, we're unable to fix the problem of space junk that my opponent claims without going to space and figuring out how to fix it. We can't just simply ignore the problem and hope it will go away. We need to spend time in space to fix it. Now let's look at their last point. They claim that space exploration is making the environment significantly worse and worsening the environment. If what they say is completely true, the biggest impact that they claim is that rockets are going to emit 4,000 tons of carbon dioxide per year. Though this may seem like a big number, remember the number that my partner and I have quoted, that according to the European Space Agency, in just Europe, we're saving 5 million tons of carbon dioxide per year because GPS planning is more efficient and we can implement the technology that we've learned and used to go to space in real life. And obviously, when we compare it to that, 4,000 tons versus 5 million per year in just Europe, we can see that the harms of space exploration are completely insignificant in comparison. It also prevents even further global warming because, like we've said before, with the ability to monitor how our Earth is doing, we can create policies and adjust how we're functioning on Earth to better the environment. So thus, I strongly urge a pro vote. Thank you.
Okay, great. Con, do you want prep?
Wait, we have 2 minutes, right?
You have 2:30.
Okay, I'll take 30 seconds.
Okay, starting now. Okay, that is 30.
Can I have like more like 20 seconds?
Sure, starting now. Okay, that's 20.
Okay, I think I'm good. so this is 4 minutes.
Mhm.
So my time starts now. So Judge, first I will take my time to attack their case and then I'll move on to my case. So firstly, their first argument is that it can make discoveries that are good for us and the environment. Well, really, what we're doing is sacrificing lives and emissions and overall just making the problem of global warming worse. So it doesn't really help us um help the environment, it just makes it worse. As my partner Emma said in her opening speech, the SpaceX mission will provide 4,000 tons, or yeah, 4,000 tons of carbon dioxide per year. This, my opponents may say that this is nothing, but really there are the more rocket companies um that are there will just make the problem even worse. So next, they say that it's good for the environment, and they provide their example of the ozone hole. Well, really, the ozone hole was actually first detected from the Antarctic poles. We didn't really need to go to space for this if we can just detect it at home. All we did with the satellites was prove that yes, the Antarctic pole's decision or observation was correct. And they also say how that there's 250,000 deaths from climate change. Exactly. This is a large number, and we shouldn't be adding to this mess by going to space and adding to the problem. We should be staying on Earth, spending money on trying to make it better instead of having to go to space and just make the problem worse. Now let's move on to my own case. Firstly, it's dangerous for people to travel there. If we can stay on the earth and do the same amount of studies and put all the money that we're putting into NASA here on earth, of course we can find so much better technologies and implement them and just save so many more lives and just solve the problem way quicker and faster. That way we won't be impacting global warming this much, like how on the SpaceX mission is impacting it by 4,000 tons from just one single mission. Next, it harms the environment. They say that they can use their new technologies to go and help. Well, really, this will just add to the problem. Sending satellites to space will just make the problem worse and making it so there's more mess. We will probably make the problem worse, and there's no guarantee that these methods would work because currently the problem is still there and nothing has worked yet. And they also state how it's a low chance to be hit. Well, if you are hit, we already gave you the example. One piece of one object, a size of a floss, made a dent in a window. If a moderately sized piece, which there are 128 million in space, if that hits a satellite or a rocket, that would cause crazy amounts of damage. And because of these reasons, we urge you to vote a con ballot. Thank you.
Can I call for their evidence right now?
Yeah, if you want to see the evidence before Crossfire, you can ask to see it. And nobody can prep. So hands on.
Okay, so can I just look at the evidence that you said one single mission leads to 4,000 tons of emission, and also there's 128 moderately sized pieces of debris?
All right, let me just go to the document.
Hands up, y'all.
Yay. Here we go.
Okay.
I surrender. I come in peace.
So So here is the thing where it's like each time they send it to space will release 440 tons of jet fuel, and if they meet their
So then why did you say that it was every year? I mean, every mission they would release 4,000.
every year from one single mission, which is the SpaceX project.
So the mission lasts a whole year?
Wait, guys, this is not
Yeah.
Crossfire. So if you just asked for
Okay,
that.
sorry.
So.
Can I have the other one, which is like 128 million, moderately sized?
Okay. Wait, let me see if I can find the link. It should be. It's either this. No. Hmm. I don't have like the wait. 128 million people. Oh, here. I think. And
Wait, so I'm just like double checking. So you define moderately sized as between 1 millimeter and 1 centimeter?
Wait, guys. The purpose of before the Crossfire
okay.
is just to look at the evidence because Prim provided both pieces of evidence, which is all he had to do, but save the questions for Crossfire itself.
Okay.
Okay. Does either team want to use prep before Crossfire?
nope.
No.
I'm in Prim.
No.
Okay.
So we have 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, our time starts now. So in your evidence, why did you say, so each mission lasts for one mission of SpaceX lasts for an entire year?
Yeah, they plan to take off every 2 weeks.
Okay, so like the mission happens 26, they send 26 per year. That's the whole mission?
I guess because from the source it said that it would be 440 or 4,400 tons.
Okay, and then like on the same lines, you say that there's 128 million items, moderately sized items floating around Earth's orbit. So do you define moderately sized as between 1 millimeter and 1 centimeter?
I guess like not, but if you read the other part, it's like there's still 34,000 that are greater
So
than
the number isn't 128 million, it's
that
34.
that 34,000 that are moderately sized, but like 128 million that are either bigger than the floss or
So, but
just-
like, what's the actual impact of this hitting like the ISS? Like you just said, it took a chip out of the window.
I
Like
know,
that doesn't
and that
really
w-
matter.
yeah, and that was just like the small piece. So if there are like
So why
bigger
wouldn't they just
pieces-
avoid it? Because we already have technologies where the ISS, like I said before, it just
Yeah,
avoids these
I'm
things.
not arguing that we should avoid it. I'm arguing that space exploration caused so much harm that now we're in this mess and that we have to clean up all of this.
Okay, you can ask your question.
So you said that it's like good for the environment and it can like help stop problems. Do you have any other example other than the ozone layer?
Well, like we're literally monitoring the Earth right now. so that like we can what?
Like any other like example or something that happened that was like stopped because of it.
No, but if we know,
The
I
ozone
mean,
layer.
we're literally, if we're monitoring like if we're looking at how the environment is doing right now, then like we can like use that to make and like to make like
So like
ideas and things based on how to fix it. So like if we notice that the Antarctic
detect them
ice is
from
melting,
if we can detect it from our Antarctic poles, then why do we have to go to
you
space?
can't detect everything. You can't like detect like what's happening in the atmosphere from like like sea level. Or like you can't figure out what's happening in like the middle of a really dry and big desert if you're just on the ground. Like you can't just drive there and then set up like at the base.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's enough. Okay. Also, last question. You stated that there's you compared 4,000 tons to 5 million source. Is that like a bigger issue?
Really, although that 5 million seems like a lot, you're talking about every single year. SpaceX is one single project ran for one single year, and in one single year, it raised 4,400 tons, and 4,400 tons in 1 year. If you calculate all of the projects in all of the years, this would be like, or just 4,000, my bad.
So you need to have what you need to have this cycle go for 1,200 years in order for it to be equal to 5 million.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Long past time.
Okay. Can we take like, how long do we have?
You have 1:25 remaining.
Okay, can we take 15?
Yep, starting now. Okay, that's 15. Sophie, do you want more prep time? So can you
No, we're good.
No, but let me set up the timer. And my time starts. Yeah. So all in all, this debate boils down to three main points. Our two arguments about discoveries that save lives, and our argument about environmental benefits, and their argument about environmental harms. So our argument about environmental benefits is that it's for all of the technological advancements, we're saving 5 million tons of CO2 per year in just Europe using just GPS. So for that to measure up with their 4,000 tons of CO2, there would have to be more than 1,200 missions a year, which, well, 1,200 yearly missions, which adds up to 1.2 million rockets, because, you know, every year there are around 10 rockets according to the source. And so this ours outweighs by a lot, since 5 million is a way bigger number than 4,000. And there's obviously not going to be 1,200 missions a year. And our second point is that it helps for helping the environment. Our second subpoint is that we can detect things. So like we said, like my partner said, it helps us detect things and we can see if there's a problem. And also, as my partner said, not all things can be detected on land. Like if there's a hurricane in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, how are you going to detect that? Unless if you have like a billion radio stations in the middle of the ocean. It's way more efficient, cost efficient to do it by using satellites. And it's very important to detect these, and it's worth the meager 400 tons per vehicle. It's definitely worth it, because these things, you cannot solve a problem that you have not seen. You have to detect the problem first before you can solve it, or else it's like trying to hit someone while in the dark with a blindfold on, and you're not going to hit it. And this is why you should vote con, because we outweigh on the environmental harms and benefits, and our inventions also save lives. Yeah, that is why you should vote con.
Oh, did you just say vote con?
Joe, yay, supporting us.
No.
How much prep time do we have left?
You have 140.
Oh, okay.
How much
Um,
you-
Can we use 45 seconds?
Beginning now. Okay, Emma, that is 45. Or 40.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm just getting my timer up. All right. My time will start in 3, 2, 1. So, Judge, at the end of the day, this debate boils down to 3 arguments. From our side, space exploration harms the environment and it distracts us and worsens global warming. And from one argument from the other side, which is that it is good for the environment. So, space debris is actually a very big problem since it can keep multiplying and will create even more space debris. So in the end, we won't even be able to launch rockets up in the air because of all this space junk that we have caused. And if a piece of space debris smaller than some floss can make a pea-sized dent in a spaceship, then imagine what would happen if even like a piece of space junk like 1 inch hit a spacecraft. And it also worsens global warming since, as my partner Preem already said, there will be 4,000 tons each year for just one company. That's one company. There will be so many other companies when space travel picks up. When people start launching more and more things into the air, it'll be more and more carbon dioxide. And that in the end, it may all outweigh the 5 million tons that we are saving from the discoveries. And also, space tourism can become a problem also, since people can be launched, a lot of people can be launched up in the air, and it'll take multiple rockets to get them in the air. And as my partner also said, the Antarctic ozone hole was detected from the ground, and we don't need to continue sending up things into space, because it also risks the people's lives. So because of these reasons, Judge, like our opponent also told you, vote con.
Okay, can we take like 10 seconds?
Yep, starting now. Okay, that is 10 seconds.
Is everyone ready?
Could we take like 10 seconds also?
Okay, what the hell is it?
Starting now.
Okay, go.
That's done.
Okay,
Is everyone ready?
yeah.
3 minutes, right?
Mhm.
Okay, the time starts now. So you stated that like, yeah, 4,000 is really little, but then we're gonna have more and more companies. So like, do you expect that we're gonna have over 1,200 companies running the same exact program that costs billions of dollars?
Well, not that much, but space travel will begin to pick up, and they're going to send more and more rockets, even from the same company. Like they'll pick up
Like my partner stated, space tourism is also becoming a thing. Space tourism could also lead to like
Okay,
more.
you guys can ask your question.
I guess we just wanted to ask you about how you're like willing to address
What'd you
this
say?
problem.
Joe's echoing right now.
Sorry.
So we just wanted to ask you about the like space junk. Like,
Yeah.
how exactly are you willing to take on this?
What do you mean take on? You can't solve the problem by just ignoring it. And like the fact that you just want to ignore space junk is just, we did mute it. Oh, okay. The fact that we're ignoring space junk just by like not going to space is just not that way. Like we can't just solve it by ignoring the problem, right? Like the problem doesn't go away. And then secondly, space junk takes like a really little amount of space, right? Because like the surface area of Earth itself, not including the surface area of the atmosphere, is huge. It's like 500 million. You say that there's 128 pieces of debris, 128 million pieces of debris that are like a millimeter in width and length, which is, you can tell it's bare, it takes up a really small amount of space. Right? Does that answer your question? Okay. Now onto our question. So you say that debris, like the impact of debris is that it just keeps multiplying, but what's the actual impact of debris?
It can destroy whole spacecrafts.
The only thing that you've told us is that it can make a tiny dent in the International Space Station.
Yeah, and that's a super small. That's less than like That's only
Yeah,
if-
but that's a really, really small dent, and the ISS just completely revamped how they work so that like if they find a bigger piece, every satellite has its onboard like technology that is designed to avoid bigger pieces of technology, right? Like
Yeah,
bigger
well,
pieces
the
of
thing
space
is,
junk.
like every time we put something up there, it's just gonna create more. So
Why?
it's because the thing that's causing space junk is space exploration, right? You can't deny that. So the more we're gonna explore space,
But how can you guarantee that it's going to create more?
what?
How do you guarantee?
there's the thing called a Kessler syndrome. Basically, it's just like a never-ending thing that when space junk like collides into more space junk, it'll create even more.
Okay. How much longer of prep do we have left?
Con has 45 seconds.
Okay, can we use that? Wait, con or pro?
Oh, sorry, you guys are pro. I keep getting you guys mixed up. Pro has 55 seconds.
Okay, can we use that?
Yep, starting now. Okay, that's time.
Uh, is is everyone ready? Timer 2 minutes. Okay, my time starts now. So this debate comes down to, like my partner said, to main points: saving the environment and improving our lives versus my opponent's claim, which is just climate change. So first, let's look at my opponent's main point, which is that going to space is going to cause a lot of environmental damage. They claim that space debris is a huge problem, but their only impact is that it's going to further multiply space debris, which I asked the actual impact of that, they just said that it chipped part of a window. Obviously, a small chip in the window is nearly nothing compared to the benefits that space exploration is going to bring us, which I'll explain more on later in this speech. They also explained that they also quote a source that we're going to be emitting 4,000 tons of carbon dioxide per year. Let's say that for now they win this point. Let's move on to my point, which is that we can't fix what we cannot measure. That's just 100% how the world works. In order to slow down climate change, we need to use satellites to monitor how the Earth is doing. Remember, 200,000 to 300,000 people are going to be dying every single year to climate change. So if we aren't aggressively trying to change climate change in any way as possible, we can't prevent these premature deaths. We need to do research on the health of the Earth and how we can figure out how to improve the health of the Earth. Lastly, let's compare the impacts of both of the teams' arguments. My opponent says that space debris is a huge problem, and let's just remember that the only thing that it's going to do is take a small dent out of the International Space Station every few years. But like their main number that they're giving us is 4,000 tons of carbon dioxide. Compare this to the 5 million tons of carbon dioxide that we're saving every single year by using satellites to our advantage. And then that doesn't even include the numbers from other continents, and it doesn't include the numbers that we're getting, the invaluable numbers and data that we're getting in terms of the information that we can get to stop and slow down climate change. And thus, I strongly urge a pro vote. Thank you.
I'll just run the rest of my prep.
Yep, 45 seconds starting now. Okay, that's time.
Okay. 2 minutes starting now. So, Judge, really, this debate comes down to the environment and making discoveries. My opponent argues that the discoveries are worth the environmental risks. Well, really, traveling to space causes a lot of space junk. They argue that the only impact of this is that there's barely any compared to the Earth, and it could only hit this ISS and make a small dent. Well, really, over time, as space exploration progresses, we're gonna be seeing way larger numbers. And my opponent can't deny that we won't, because the cause of it is space exploration. They also mentioned that we can't just ignore it. Yeah, but we're here to argue that space exploration was the one that made us in this mess. Because of space exploration, we have all of these objects in space that are going to damage something or hurt someone. And if we didn't have it, our space would just be so much cleaner. They also tell us about the lives that would be lost because of global climate change. Well, we can't solve global climate change if we're adding to it. The ozone hole was detected from Antarctic poles and wasn't because of the satellite. And because of this, our argument that it harms the environment really outweighs theirs, it because they will be making more space junk and adding more carbon to the air. So yeah, I urge you to vote con.
Yay. I agree. The new arguments were good. That was awesome. That was like a great switched sides. It was so cool to see Emma and Prim's con speech twice, and Sophie and Joanne pro.
Vote con.
Pro con.
You didn't even you guys didn't even talk about how we completely ignored the wireless internet and GPS thing.
Yeah, but like, now.
All right, to our 2 viewers watching, we hope you've enjoyed our program.
One is me and the other is Emma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm watching it, but I don't know. I think all of us are watching it, but like, yeah.
Wait, hold on. So, I mean, I just want to ask like Emma and I think Pram about like the ozone hole being detected from poles. I mean, it doesn't really matter now, but NASA satellite data the first thing to detect it? It's not those poles,
No,
right?
I read it directly from the website. It says that like they first found out that it was like depleting over their Antarctic post.
Oh my God.
And I also use that argument. I didn't bring up that it was first from the Antarctic posts.
Okay, well, guys, it's been great. Thank you so much for being a part of my lab, and it's been awesome to work with you. You all have my email if you ever have any questions about debate or you want to learn more about how to do debate in the future. I hope you guys all continue with it because you're all excellent, and I think you all will make great debaters. You all also have each other's emails, right? Like, stay in touch. Arden's shamelessly plugged his Instagram. Yes, he did. Okay, I hope everybody has a great rest of the summer. Congratulations on finishing the camp tournament. And I'll see you guys later.
All right, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
See ya.